Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the 01 Studio Zeta, maybe Boardcon DIS-06. Is it DIS? Anyway, this is their take on a pretty decent, pretty solid broadside figure, and it has 3 modes. It's a triple changer. He's a pretty good sized beast, and for what all, you get a pretty affordable one. But yeah, I did get this at Showsy Store. I have a link down below where you can get yours. And I'm going to take to all 3 modes and then do some comparisons and all that fun stuff. I'll tell you what I think. Coming up. Alright, here is the box and the figures lurking behind it. It does look plain. I don't expect a whole lot for the box. Shows you sort of part of one of the modes. On the back you see all 3 modes, and Boardcon, white bottom, and then you got a better look at the other mode. And yeah, so I'll definitely be checking these pictures when I'm done to see I got it right, but there we go. Alright, so here he is right out of the box. I think he looks like a pretty good figure. I will say, before we do anything else with him, I believe you're supposed to rotate this. Like that. Am I right? Is that how it looks on the picture? Yep, that's how it looks on the picture. So right out of the box, that's going to need to get rotated. You need to pull it's like the knee slides up. You need to pull it down. You need to pull the arms down. And the wings need to get put into place. So let's bring him over here. And the wings need to go into place right there. So there's tabs. They just, what if I do this backwards? And then can I find the hole in the dark? Oh no, can't find the hole. There it is. Yeah, I can still find the hole in the dark there. So there it goes. And while we're back here, you can put both of the axes on right there, and then you can also put both of the guns on the side like that. But 1 and 1. Just kind of show what's going on. And since we're back here from behind, we can do this. See his legs, see the whole thing. Maybe he's a big boy. It's like, I believe he's 14 inches, but I haven't measured him. But we'll see some comparison, what else he compares to here in a bit. But very clean overall, and like exactly what I would think of this character looking like. And to get a better view, bring him way back here and bring this back. So yeah, good looking figure. Now I will say right off the bat, I think he looks good. The color's good. It's pretty much what I would want. Very little paint aside from like on the wings, which wings and slash part of the ship mode, all of that good stuff. But really, I would have liked maybe an overcoat or something to give it a little bit more sheen and pop, kind of like what Magic Square was doing with their Bruticus Combiner. Aside from that, like, I think it looks good. The lack of sheen to it make it feel or appear a little cheap, but at the same time, it's not very expensive for how big it is. All right, let's get into some articulation. The head can go side to side, and it can kind of pivot up. Which I've kind of had it up because I was messing around with trying to get the battery to work. By the way, I did not get the battery to work. Had one that looked like it had enough juice and it fit, but it just didn't work for me. So probably not enough juice to light up those LEDs. Got to have enough in there. All right, shoulders past the 90. We'll take that off. You've got the rotation. You can go 360 very tight. We have a pretty nice butterfly right there. Bicep swivel. Doing its thing. Bicep swiveling. Not a double jointed elbow, but you get quite a bit of range. The hands are really good. Let's bring this around here. I'm thinking they've all got like 3 points of articulation. The thumb can do quite a bit. And then they can even turn At least the pointer finger can turn. I don't know if the rest of them can or not. And they can splay a bit. And several points of articulation. You can get very natural kind of hand movements and gestures out of this and go in and out. So, I mean, really solid hands there. I don't know if I really did any of that any justice. But the fact that the thumb is fully opposable makes a world of difference, making a believable fist. All right, waist swivel. You can move this out of the way to get the full waist swivel. And then ab crunch. About that much. That much. Hip flap out, hip flap up. You got past the 90, everything you need. I bet you I could get him, as big as he is, I bet I could get him to stand on his own. I bet. With enough time. I don't have time for all that. The drop down hip, so that you can get it's so tight, but you can get a full range, but it won't hold itself, but you can get a lot of range with the drop down hip. And then universal kind of right there. And remember, we're messing with a big dude that's pretty darn stable. Knee, double jointed, full double jointed. Wow. No rotation at the knee. Feet. All right. And the feet go all the way up to there. Oh, you can go in whatever direction. You can do whatever. His feet are down for whatever. For accessories, he comes with, straighten that out, two axes, and they can be taken apart so they can be stowed in different ways, or he can just use a mace and all that. And there's that. Then there's his gun, which tabs in really well. It's one of those things. And then you can plug in the axe to there, and for some reason this comes off. It's like a cap. Put a cap in that, and then you can pull this off here. Plug that in, and you can plug this in, and you can have a giant mace looking thing. All right, let me zoom out on that. Whoa, that's crazy. Giant mace looking. He's gonna need two hands for that, definitely. So this piece, they were like, well, how are we gonna stow this away? So they decided to give us an option. I don't know if it's a good option, but it's an option. So it's on this leg. You can get down here and open this up and pop this out. You can just open the wings to push it out. You don't really need a tool. Don't need a tool or to be a tool. You just need to pop that out, and then you can push this on here like that, and then fold that up, and you've got it stowed away. I find that this is not okay. It is. Yes, they did it. Yes, they did it. They made it work. But throughout the transformation and going to different modes, and the way they store it in the jet mode, it's kind of a pain, and it kind of gets in the way. All right, so here he is next to Fansoy's Devastator, and obviously Fansoy's Devastator is leaning to the right. A little bit, that's kind of wrong. No. He'll lean straight when he gets his other arm on, that's for sure, but he's a big boy. This guy's a big boy, but not combiner size. And a lot of people do think he should have been combiner size, but I'm very happy with the size because of the fact that much bigger than this, well, I think Fansoy's is going to be an inch bigger, but that's how it looks. And there he is next to Cyan Culture's Metroplex, touted as a legend scale Metroplex, but people argue that the Titan class is a better better Legends scale size-wise. This is more like Dr. Wu scale, even though Dr. Wu made their own. So it'd be like the micros would scale best with it. And I agree. But about the same size. He's a little bit taller than the Cyan Culture Metroplex. And for the infamous Phoenix comparison, as you can see, he is taller than Phoenix, bigger than Phoenix, which I thought they'd be the exact same size. So I am impressed with the size, impressed with the scale, happy with the scale. I was going to grab the Takara Skyfire, but the difference is the fact that I'm going to actually put this guy in his old spot. So save myself some time and effort and strategic planning, all that. Next, we're going to have Fans Toys Oceanic next to it. I'll talk more about it in the news, but I'm sure the Fans Toys one will have more paint, present better, probably more die-cast. I feel very little die-cast in this, but I predict will cost a minimum of twice as much and at least 30% more complexity for no reason. It's just my guess. I never understood all the obsession with height. Why do people get so excited about these tall bots?
Yeah, the short bots need love too.
It's time to get this bad boy transformed up. I want to try to get this done as fast as I can, but lift this panel up. One thing I want to show, tucking his hand in, you want to make a fist that looks kind of like a very nice looking fist. But you can get all these fingers in there and the thumb that way. Then you fold it to the back, and it folds in, and folds in pretty nicely. And then you see where you have this cutout for the elbow. That's going to go over that little decorative piece there. So these are good. Now, we're going to get up here. I don't know how many times I have to adjust this, but pop that up. Move use that good butterfly, and I'm getting under there, but it's on there. It's in there tight. Pop that up, and then the head should pop up once you can pull the chest forward. I'll have to probably adjust this a little higher. This is gonna be a weird filming of transformation. Flip this up before you go forward. You can pop that off. If you probably break it if you did what I just did there. So don't do what I say, not as I do. Great life advice there. We'll fold this out. We'll mess with that here in a bit. Now, a couple things that need to happen in here. Once we're inside, you fold these two pieces down, leave his head up, bring this whole filler area up so that we have room for the arms to tuck in. Boom, boom. Then we're going to need to do something else, because the arms are a little bit longer than his waist, because that's called human anatomy, right? And so for that, we're going to need to separate on this, and so pull forward on the waist piece as we get this down, and then it double joints down, and then the waist piece is going to tab into the leg there, but I don't think we're going to mess with that at this point in time, this juncture. But anyway, we're going to do that on the other side, same thing. And people seem to act like this is a hard part, so I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, because it's not hard at all. I mean, I might be doing something wrong, but it's not hard at all. But maybe it's the fact that I don't have it pushed in all the way. Oh, that might be where it gets challenging. There it is, in all the way. And then from here, we're in a bad angle. Don't forget to flip this around like so when you don't have stuff in the way. Yeah. Small details that make a big difference in the end. All right, so we're going to close this all up. So I guess the best thing to do would be to close this first and then tuck the arms in on both sides. And that seems to be working the best. And so I was trying to close this down with the arms in, which I thought that would work, but it didn't. So just simple physics. That's just life. Open this all up. We're going to fold this. Gotta push this further so we're still on the stream here. We're going to fold this piece out. Now it's got to clear this, so come out and then tab into this little tab slot piece right here, and it's got to go a little more. Give it a little more. There it goes. But at this point, you're not going into carrier mode. We're going to go into jet mode first, get it out of the way, and I probably will leave it in carrier mode for a couple of days. So we'll do carrier mode last, and I have a fun comparison I want to do in carrier mode. Now that didn't tab all that in. Bring his head up, and maybe we want to get it over his head. Oh. All right, so I got to close this nose cone up. Make sure that you tuck in those pieces. I have the head facing the forward, and then you want to get all this tight together. And what you're going to do is you're going to tab in these back tabs and the front tabs at the same time, and it can be a little challenging. I'm going to open this up, cram this into here. It's in. If I got to go a little harder on it, I might. But there's tabs in the front. These tabs in the front and these two tabs at the back. And if they pop out, I can always tab them back in again. Okay, so here we are. One thing about the legs is, and we can do it now, they collapse. So I'm going to collapse them now, mostly not because it's needing... Oh, man, the tabs came undone. Not because it needs to be done right now, but it's just easier to film. So we're going to fold this out and around. We're going to bring this out and tab this into here. And then there's another piece that needs to come out for this. You want to lift this up because this is going to tab into the wing. And if you've got it all down properly, once we get all this in for the wing, this back piece, I had it up out of the way, tabs in here and here. Same thing on this other side. You want the colorful side facing up. Tab that in. Then come back around here, and then this will tab into this, but we have to have the legs all the way in. That's how you know they're all the way in, because this tabs in to here. Like so. And then this piece here folds out. We do it on both sides. Then we're going to come down here to this section, and we're going to do a couple more things. We're going to fold this up and out, and an additional fin. So up and out, an additional fin. And then this piece here, and this is, I already took it off during the transformation, but this is a waste, in my opinion, to try to keep this, because this will flop out nonstop if you just try to keep it here. It would have worked if there was one more like hole or peg or something, something else for this to peg into. I mean, this would have been a great idea, except it will flop around and get in our way. Then we have the rear thrusters. So get in a rears, here's, and let me see here. There's got to be a way for me to get that out of there. yeah, if you like mess with the, yeah, and then they'll fold in like so. And then the last little, well, there's a couple last little tidbits for this, but you want to get the landing gear out, which is right here. And then up front, the landing gear. And one of my wings popped out as I was waiting. This landing gear, as I was working on something else. Come on, it's getting in its own way. We're going to re-tab this in. And on the back. And see, it already fell. I'm not even there yet. It already fell. And then there's the backs of this. Can store away from the axes as like little thrusters in the back. So we'll do that real quick, and then we'll have a look at it. But right here, we have a little thruster spot, an extra thruster spot. Extra thruster spot. All right, I'll tighten it back up and we'll have a look at it. All right, here it is in the jet mode, and it looks like it should. I never was a fan of the G1, and I was like, what kind of jet mode is that? I think this does look a little bit better than the G1 did, but still it's not going to be fighting for any like jet mode accuracy or anything. But it looks pretty good. Now I do realize I missed two things in the transformation. The clips that clip the feet right here, which is not a big deal. I just did that just now. And then there's these connectors that connect the legs together to make it this more solid in this section. Doesn't really need it, but yes, it would be a little more solid. As I handle this section does flop a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of hassle to mess with those parts, but I'll show you when we go into the next mode, so it's not a big deal. I knew about it, just forgot about it, and I realized why it's there now, engineering-wise. I was actually thinking engineering-wise it was a waste of time, but looks pretty good. Now, his gun does break apart. This is the axe, and then you've got part of the axe connects right here in the back. For mine, though, it doesn't tab in very well, but it tabs in right here behind the wings, and then we already showed the back of the axe getting tabbed in there, and the guns plug in like that. So pretty fun stuff. Pretty good mode overall. And like I said, I don't think that this whole part, what do they call this piece of the aircraft carrier? On the flag, there's a specific name for it, but anyway, it'll sit and look fine. So like, it's doing its job right now, but if you were to like move it too much, it flops down. So it's kind of silly. In a way, it's kind of useless, but it is what it is. And we got to see how big this guy is compared to other stuff. So what do I got? Here he is next to a couple of carbots. I can get this shaky cam to look okay. Like, they barely are as big as his nose. Big boy. Big jet. A lot of people say they don't like the jet mode. Personally, I think it's okay for what it is. But I'll never see it again. Alright, now for the aircraft carrier mode. We need to go around and pop off all of the weapons. The weapons. And then we're just going to kind of undo stuff that we've already done already. Fold up the landing gear. Pull off the weapons. Pull off this piece. Finally, gosh, that was such a waste. Fix these landing gears up under here's. Fold this piece down. Fold that piece in. Fold all these pieces back in. And like, here's the this little clip piece that I failed to show in the first go around. And then now we're going to be looking at it from a different point of view. And contrary to popular belief, we can actually flip this up. I was under the impression it's one or none, but flip this up, you can see his head in there. It did have an opening canopy, and you can put that back down like that. So that's going to be good. We need to untab all of this. And from these legs here, what I was talking about was this. If you want to, I forgot about it, but I just didn't really want to mess with it. But it's just one of those things that it's not fun. But you're gonna have to like get those tabs perfectly into. If you get it into one, it'll hold for the other. Perfectly into the leg. All right, I did that off camera. We're gonna flip this puppy around, and it's gonna have a lot of work to do. So let's just detach those. We're gonna need to flip these up using the nice little included indentation they have for you. This is gonna come down here and tab into the nose cone. Technically the bottom of the nose cone. Now the nose cone came out while I was trying to do that, but you get the idea. I'm going to tab all that in real good. All right, so I didn't hit record on this. I'm not sure, because I pulled it off camera to do one part, to just tab the front end. So anyway, we're going to flip this, fold this around, and it's going to tab in, and it's no big deal. This part's pretty easy, actually. You're going to flip this in also, and it's going to go. Now, since I'm doing it again, I can do it the right way. The first time I didn't interlace those at the same time. That tabs in. This part here, it folds up, and make sure you avoid colliding with that. And I did kind of fold these things down. I think I did that already. I don't know. But you got to fold all those down and in, and this goes into here, and that tabs in. But we need to wait till we get the other side done the same exact way so they can interlock with each other first. And then once you tab these side pieces in, you'll see that tabbing the side pieces in will tab the lower piece in at the same time. It'll cause it to have that friction. Then you fold this up and you fold this out and you flip this over. And see, this one on mine likes to pop off. It's not a big deal, but it's just something just annoying. There it is. It wasn't, I guess I didn't tab it all the way back in when it popped off. There it goes. Then there's two different little connectors here to connect it. You got to put this on here too. Kind of, there's a hole and a tab. And then you can load it up with airplanes if you want to. Will they fit? Yeah, airplanes. Let's see. Look at all that at a good angle. All right, well, we'll come back and have a look at this bad boy. All right, here it is in its carrier mode, and with all the weapons in place, there's kind of a cool placement for this. This looks like an anchor. The front of the axe does kind of look like an anchor on a boat. It's a boat. The boat man stays with the boat. But here we go with all this fun stuff going on. I think it looks good. I mean, it gets the job done. I don't think it looks great as an aircraft carrier. I think it looks good as an aircraft carrier. And it looks, well, great for broadside. So there it goes. Feature-wise, I mean, there's not really much to it other than the fact that you can probably mess with this thing. Some of the things I've been noticing is there's a lot of people getting miniature airplanes to put on it. That can move a little bit. There's a little rotation to it. But yeah, some people are putting tiny airplanes on it, loading them up with like 24 tiny airplanes to make it look a little cooler, which it does look cool with a bunch of tiny little airplanes on it. I'm not about that lifestyle, and I really like the bot mode the most. But this is, I will say, I will agree with pretty much everyone I've heard say it. This is the best of the 2 alt modes, in my opinion also. And this is how it looks atop the USS Flag. Oh yeah. Like, why not? You know, why not? The flag, the command tower is more centralized. It's not completely in the middle, but more centralized. This is probably more realistic, actually. I mean, the flag is not to scale in any way, shape, or form, but still big. All right, so what do I think about 01 Studio Boardcon? And I think he's a pretty good looking figure overall. I think they did a great job with him. All the modes work as they should, look as they should. I mean, I never was a fan of this character in G1. So for them to have made it to where I really like this figure, kudos to them. Very good job. I don't have the G1, so wasn't able to do the comparison, but I like this figure. It's actually going to replace my Phoenix in my collection. Well, I have the Phoenix X, and the Phoenix is just going to be used for now for some comparisons in videos, but still, this is a pretty impressive figure. Fans Toys has theirs coming. Fans Toys already said what I think about the Fans Toys one, but I don't think it's not going to be a bad figure. It's probably going to be a very impressive figure. But for the price, it's here right now. It looks good. They've done a great job with it. I am very happy that I bought this thing. But you can get yours too. It shows the store. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. And remember, TH Sports Reviewer, help channel out and all that good stuff. But let me know what you think about this figure, you think about this release. Is this a character that you never cared about? But man, in reality, it's a cool figure. And with that, would you rather get more obscure characters like this? Well, it's not too obscure, but more obscure characters like this than made up characters that are just made up last week? I'm curious about that too, but that's going to be a whole new video concept in the future. Like and subscribe. Touch your finger out.